I think I'm part Hobbit over here. It's not funny.
Okay. Damn, why don't you take me faster? Don't. Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, your entertainment podcast for everything movies, television, video games, and more. My name's Adam.
And I'm Oliver.
And today we are going over Loki episode 3. Halfway point. Bam.
There's only 6?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's kind of disappointing. No wonder they're like a fucking hour, 2 hours long.
Okay, this was not 2 hours long.
Oh, well, yeah, but...
Like, how much longer is it?
Holy crap. 6 minutes left.
Yeah, so technically it was 49 if you don't
49.
count the start of it.
So we're looking at like a 10-hour episode.
Okay, so so it was like 37 minutes.
What?
Or 47 minutes, sorry.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was around that time. So
That's a lot.
Regardless, we open up with Renslayer and Miss Minutes going to 1868, and they show up to a young Victor Timely, because Miss Minutes says this is the plan that He Who Remains had for a branch timeline where there's another Victor Timely that could become He Who Remains. So I don't know if that means this is a Kang variant or a He Who Remains variant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the difference is Kang is supposed to be, at least in the comics, Nathaniel Richards, who's supposed to be in the 31st century. So he's supposed to be born in the future, not now. So it's like weird.
Okay.
Of how it's all supposed to, unless they're changing that from the comics. But regardless, we get to they go to 1893, which is the World's Fair.
Mm-hmm. Chicago World Fair.
Yep. And now we see where Loki is with OB and B-15 and
Casey
and Mobius, in where they need a loom that needs repair with He Who Remains temporal aura.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to look for him, and they end up trying to like track down Renslayer instead, because they know that will be where they can find Miss Minutes, or at least some kind. They don't expect to run into Victor Timely yet, which now we get transported to. They go to the 1868. They don't see anything, so they go forward.
They're like, weird. Let's
where
go
we get
here. 1893.
1893. And we get the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania
ending.
Post-credit
Yeah, the
scene.
post-credit, yeah.
Like in this part of the episode, so we now know like that was literally just cut and paste out of this, with some different like color correction, obviously, in the difference. And we run into Victor Timely, who has a stutter, kinda.
Yeah, it seems like he's very much the like
He's
a version of himself, or a variant of himself that's very like, I'm into science and I'm socially awkward.
Yeah. And
so the stutter is almost like fitting,
which
for
he kind of had
as
He Who Remains, because if you remember, he also like spoke very slowly.
Yeah.
Of things. So I feel like that's where it comes from. And we go into. So after we meet him, we find out he's like a hustler. So he sells people these contraptions that are prototypes,
and then makes money.
Yeah. And rips people off, and then gets away with it some of the times, and then we see
other times he doesn't. The chase scene was actually really simply done.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was short. It was concise. It wasn't like, it was just shaky
and he loses
shaky
them
cam.
on a Ferris wheel.
Pretty good. Yeah.
In one of the cars, and then Sylvie shows up because they notice. B-15 says we notice like some temporal energy that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up to kill Victor Timely, and Loki stops her from doing it, to where they both use their magic to blow each other out of the Ferris wheel car.
Sylvie blames Loki. That's so annoying.
Yeah. And so they get away from her, and they take Victor Timely, who gets... So Mobius and Loki try to chase them down. They end up losing them.
Miss Minutes goes super big.
Yep.
Marshmallow from Ghostbusters. Big.
Just as a ghost,
mm-hmm.
which you guys have seen in the trailers. And we get Victor Timely goes off with Miss Minutes and Ravonna shows him or tells him, like, basically without saying to him, I'm the one that gave you the notebook when you were a kid.
Right. He kind of figures it out.
Yeah. And then she mentions partnership, which is something that he does not like
Well,
hearing
yeah.
from
Later
anybody.
on in the boat,
Yeah.
the word of partnership is mentioned. But before that, I noticed Miss Minutes is not a fan of Ravonna, and I was like,
No.
this is weird.
Yeah. It
There's
gets
like
weirder.
there's a shift in vibe all of a
Yeah.
sudden when she notices like, oh, Ravonna
Yeah.
and Timely are getting like,
Mm-hmm.
and so they escape out of the window of his apartment or house that he's staying temporarily because of thugs that are just trying to
Yeah.
barge in that he scammed. And they get separated. They're going to Wisconsin, I believe. They take a ferry to Wisconsin to get his other supplies of
Yeah.
another invention that he's working on before they go to the TVA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that's kind of like because you mentioned from the comics that they're like a thing, like
Yes.
Ravonna and Victor Timely.
Well, Ravonna and Kang
Okay, and
specifically.
so this is kind of like the scene where you see that happening,
Yeah.
or that connection. They have a nice view, and you're smart, I'm smart. Let's do this partnership. And
Yeah.
Miss Minutes is like, bitch, what? Hold my weave. And so, like, we just drop her. I thought that was
Right
kind
off
of
the bat.
odd.
Yeah.
I thought I don't know.
Well,
Like I
he
don't know
doesn't
what his
like
thought process
he
is.
doesn't like partnership because he didn't like it when the other guy offered him partnership
Right.
either, but he wanted the money instead.
Right. But this is
So,
so much bigger than money at this point.
but
Why
even
is his
with He
thought
Who
process
Remains, you can see
like
he was very singular. He didn't really care.
and they mentioned that.
Yeah.
You're very singular. He's like, "Oh, you're going to be Vic very much
Yep.
singular later on."
Uh-huh.
What is that? What does that mean?
He's just he's just him. He is the one that remains at the end.
But that's
So, I
okay.
don't
Continue the episode because I want to bring that up again.
Yeah. So as we go through the episode, he throws her off the boat and he goes back to his laboratory
Mm-hmm.
with Miss Minutes, to where Miss Minutes starts getting weird, getting real
Trying
fucking
to think of a
weird.
song. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
It just
It got real weird. But basically, he made essentially.
were you just doing Careless
I
Whisper?
was, yeah. That was kind of fitting, right?
I was like playing in my head. I'm like, wait,
Yeah, that's what I was
the
doing.
Seether version though, right?
No.
It got real weird.
It got real. Like, I felt
She
uncomfortable.
wanted some Victor Timely dick.
She wanted some time with Victor Timely, if you know
Yeah,
what I
she
mean.
did. And so after that happens, he like ends up like Tim patting her ass away, and he then gets confronted by Mobius and Loki.
Right. Okay, pause right there. When they're back at his place, not in Wisconsin, in Chicago, she mentions, "Oh, you're singular. I'm singular." Does that mean like she wants? Was that like an Easter egg for like, hey, we don't have to be singular?
No,
No,
no.
because like later on, if he's so afraid of partnership and she's brought it up, why the fuck? Why the fuck is like Miss Minutes so concerned with being a person?
So this is where it might get weird. Okay.
Weird and weird.
Okay. So this is my theory, and hear me out.
Okay.
So there's a lot of Kang variants, a lot of Nathaniel Richard variants, He Who Remains, whoever, whatever you want to call them. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've seen three of them and we don't know that we have. And I feel like Kang, since he loves and feels so highly of himself, only loves himself. Kind of like Loki and Sylvie are the same person,
Okay.
but they love each other, right?
Yeah.
What if the secret is Ravonna is one of his variants? What if the
Ah.
secret is the AI he implanted in Miss Minutes is a version of himself,
That'd be kind of
which is why they're both
cool, but
singular
weird.
because they're both Kangs.
Yeah.
What if OB is a Kang variant, and that's why he let him write the book?
That'd be even weirder.
Like these could be Kang variants.
Yeah. Oh man, this got really weird.
Because remember, how many of them were displayed? It was 4 statues. One was broken last season.
Mm-hmm.
So you have He Who Remains, Ravonna Renslayer, Miss Minutes, OB. OB could be the one that got knocked down.
Yeah.
Then you have when you go back to Kang in like the past when Loki was going back and forth, you saw like when he hit it, there was like 5.
Or yeah,
Kangs.
there's
So now
multiple
there's
Kangs.
5. So there's now another missing 5th one, right? So this is where I'm going to, and I have a theory that I'll get to in a little bit, but let's finish this episode. So now we go through with so now he gets confronted by Loki and Mobius, and they try to convince him to like come with them and everything else. And or no, actually, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Ravonna shows up after he hits the temp pad, and then Ravonna's about to kill him with this like prototype of the probe the pruning stick.
Pruning. Yeah. Weird name.
Weird name, but it prunes you. So
do that in the pool.
Yeah. So basically, she like hits a mannequin, showing like it goes away or whatever, and she wants to rule and is about to get rid of him, and that's when Mobius and Loki show up to try to stop her. And then all of a sudden, we have Sylvie comes in and stops her, and then Sylvie's about to kill Victor Timely again, but then lets him live and tells him like get him to the TVA. TVA. And they go through the time door. So boom goes Victor Timely, boom goes Loki, and then Mobius looks back real quick and then goes through, and then we have Ravonna.
Yeah, right. The double take
Sylvie.
of Mobius was interesting because he's like, "Fuck, man, I tried." Like,
yeah, I really did, but too bad.
Sorry, dude, and
so
then left.
We have Ravonna and Sylvie, and Sylvie starts attacking Ravonna, and we'll see what ends up happening out of that.
Right. She gets Sparta kicked into a time portal.
Yeah, so then she knocks her into the end of time to where they find the carcass rotting away of He Who Remains.
He Who Remains, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Miss Minutes comes out because she pushes up the temp pad, and she says, oh, like, he shouldn't have pissed off the person that knows all of his secrets. And I know one about you. And she's like, what is it? She's like, you're going to be
real angry.
Which is where I think she might have been a Kang variant. Or, I don't know. Maybe he took her from a different time. Maybe she's always been a variant of something. I don't know. You got to see exactly.
I mean, so I think, well, first go over your theory.
So I'm going to get to my theory, but before that, let's have a word from our sponsor.
Thank you for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you can just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to a therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. With BetterHelp, you can get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you. Any scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. Just get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/nerdlocker. The link is going to be right down below in the description. Man, I can't believe how addicting Cinnamon Toast Crunch is.
Right?
What are you wearing?
A shirt?
You're into scary movies, right?
Kinda.
I see it. Anyway, there's a sick brand that I know of. They make a bunch of like horror-esque type of. Here, I tell you what. Let me just. Better.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. You know who makes that?
Who?
7th Ink.
Really?
All artwork, original.
Whoa, that's
you got little bats on you.
But what about you?
What about me?
Oh. But what about your mask? Oh. Well.
Get off the dipshit.
I mean, These shirts are awesome though. Like they're really comfortable. They fit nice. Like
Honestly,
this
that's
is
why I threw
great.
one at you. This is pretty lightweight. They don't shrink, and it's
Yeah.
like it's just like come on, just look at me.
This is great. You know what? Want to grab some popcorn and watch a scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? What the was that?
All right, and we're back. So my theory is, I think Mobius is a Loki variant.
You think so?
I really, really.
Why do you think so?
Well, number one, first off, I showed you a TikTok earlier about all the times that Tom Hiddleston has mimicked Owen Wilson in the past.
Right.
To where this is very funny. But I have a funny feeling that's why Mobius always has a trusting instinct towards Loki. But I think he was just a Loki variant plucked. That just was like maybe a normal Loki variant, like one that just like became human and just decided to settle down, just not do anything.
I don't know. That's a stretch, I think. I kind of want Mobius to be his own character.
Or another Kang variant.
No, I kind of want Mobius just... He's funny enough to, like, I want him...
Yo.
He's likable enough to where I want him to do something.
Thor variant?
He's not a Thor... Okay, hold on. Speaking of gods, what the fuck was that part where we were shown Odin, Thor,
and Balder.
And Boulder?
Yeah. The thing is, they showed that, and that was like the three statues kind of felt like the timekeepers. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, because I had thought that like, the World's Fair was going to get transformed into like the first version.
Right, but he seemed pretty clueless when he was getting like chased and stuff.
Yeah,
unless he does it by accident later on.
Happening.
That's crazy, because if they introduce Boulder,
yeah,
that'd be awesome.
So I think, in my opinion, because the thing is, Tom Hiddleston also auditioned for the role of Thor, so it would be really cool to see like a alternate version.
That'd be kind of dope.
Thor that's Tom Hiddleston.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. I mean, this is probably the best time to do it. Yeah. That'd be really fun. Let me think. What was the end of the episode? I'm trying to think. It was. Oh yeah, no, it was Miss Minutes.
Like, yep, you're gonna be very angry at what you have to know. So this is exactly the same formula that has been in every 6-episode series, where it's like a lot of plot in the first episode, a huge speed bump on episode 2, and then you get a lot of like plot forward.
Yeah, it was a lot of we got pushed forward a lot.
Up to a quick cliffhanger, to which the next one is going to be another cliffhanger, but just like every episode 4, this one's going to be like a...
I forgot I was filming. Just picking my nose.
Make sure at that point, zoom in.
I was like, really? You know what? I'm done.
So, but like end of episode 4 is going to be like a what the fuck moment, and then it's going to...
Yeah. So, first off, I don't trust Miss Minutes at all after this episode.
No.
Fucking sketch boulevard. It was so fucking weird, the entire thing.
I love you. Like,
yeah, and she blurted that out right there at the end.
Yep.
Fucking weird. And then she kept saying like, "Yeah, oh, don't worry, this is his plan, bitch. This is your plan."
Yeah.
I don't think like He Who Remains made this.
She was pulling the strings.
I think she's been like doing this whole thing. Like she's using Ravonna, obviously. Like she planned the drop off. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, she might be main boss.
I don't think she's main boss.
You don't think she's main boss?
She's associate to the actual main boss. Whoever this other King variant that's really, really in charge, whether it be King the Conqueror.
Because she has like crazy amount of knowledge, right?
She's someone else's right-hand man. She's just not telling anyone.
Also, I noticed we heard
this is his plan, but not the his we're thinking of.
Yeah. Also, I've noticed a lot of people have used the word eons. How the fuck long is an eon?
Find out. How long is an eon? Well, I know it's...
That's not a song, is it?
I know it's more than 100 years.
An eon. I know I've looked this up before. Whoa. I don't even know. Dude, this is nuts.
Can I see it?
So 1 eon? Do you want...
Yeah.
You want me to say it?
No, let me see it. I want to see if I can.
It says it. That's 1 eon. Go ahead, say it.
But how did they use it in that?
Eons.
But how'd she? Wait, what'd she say?
For example, Ravonna has been serving the TVA for eons. For those of you that don't know what an eon is, that's 1 billion years. 1 eon is equal to 1 billion years. Yo, Ravonna's old as shit. Be a pile of dust. When's retirement for TVA? Never? Anyway, yeah, that's what I was thinking about through the entire episode. That really bothered me.
That's hilarious.
They used it multiple times. I was like, what the fuck is...
Well,
how
now we know.
is that common knowledge that people know what an eon is?
I don't know.
I'm going to say that. I've been working for this company for an eon. Because I know they don't know what it means.
I hope the first person you say it to is like, oh, billion years.
Imagine. It's really unlucky, huh? You got everything else to say?
No, I think...
just said everything else.
What do you rate this episode?
This is probably my favorite episode so far. I didn't see anything wrong. I like the camera work. The music was good, actually, very unique, especially fitting for the time period.
Yeah, the intro.
The costumes were good. We got a lot of magic, a little bit of action, some dialogue. 9?
9. I'm gonna give it 8.5, and I'm only gonna say that for the fact that I'm still very confused of like where they're going with the Nathaniel Richards part of it all, because I was very excited that we were gonna get like Fantastic Four like Easter eggs, like crossovers, because like so many things of Mr. Fantastic and Secret Invasion and Secret War and all that other stuff that's happened in the comics at least, and how much they can adapt to this, like, and it's supposed to come out before Secret Wars 2, like that movie,
right?
Our version of Fantastic Four. So like these things are supposed to
be coincide, but we are dealing with time though.
Ant-Man and the Wasp that came out that should also be coinciding with this now at this point too, because now we've had Kang in, because he was introduced in Loki, then he came to MCU, now he's back in Loki, but there should be some kind of cross.
Really quick, what's going on with that lawsuit with
We're not
Jonathan?
going to
No,
that
because
here.
he's so good.
We'll
he did
talk
so
about it.
good.
We'll talk about it when we hear about it. But other than that, where can they find you, bud?
That means there's no update. You can find me at the Sphere 21 on any social media platform except for TikTok. I'm Oliver Kahn, VA.
And you can find me at Amore Photography. You can find this studio at Archangel Studios Official. And you can find this podcast at Nerd Locker Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. See you guys.
Oh, do you want to?
Peace.
Never mind.
All right. Bye.
Bye.